This video is being brought to you by Cutting Edge Gamer. If you upgrade graphics cards often, Cutting Edge Gamer is the perfect option for you. Lease the newest graphics cards on the market, such as Nvidia's RTX 20 series, for a low monthly payment. Click the affiliate link below in the description to find out more.
It's time to defend another YouTuber because I've been in a similar situation a billion times. I know what it's like to be there, so let's discuss it. Skip it up and that up. So there is a YouTuber out there known as DreamcastGuy.
What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here.
He does very similar content to me, more reviews than I do, which, you know, I constantly get the meme, hey, Rich, why don't you review tech actually in the USA? Well, I'm actually going to be reviewing more old tech soon. This is a working Turbo Express. I've been playing Punk on it, and I had one of these as a kid, and it's interesting to go back to 1990 technology when it blew me away and use it now and see how it holds up. But anyway, DreamcastGuy recently, I know I went totally off topic, he had a video which is unlisted, so I'm not going to put it in the description, called I Talked to a PlayStation 5 Beta Tester. And I watched the video, and he's going on it. He's explaining how there's this insider that works at Sony that he tried the PlayStation 5, and he's going into how it was playing games in 8K, and he was talking about how it had 14 teraflops of GPU performance, so on and so forth. And then the red flag to me in the video was he said, oh, the GPU is the equivalent of a GTX 1660. And I'm like, you ain't getting 14 teraflops of performance or floating operations per second with a GTX 1660. And it ended up being that there was a ton of information. Someone trolled him, basically, is what it comes down to. And he got a lot of crap for it. And I had a feeling that was going to happen. But the thing I got to give him credit for, and I have done this before too, is instead of just unlisting the video and sweeping it under the rug, he came out and said, hey, I got trolled, I screwed up, it was misinformation, I'll do better next time. And I've been there before, man. I've been in his shoes, and I know what it's like, and crap happens. Shit. It's some good coffee. For people out there who are content consumers on YouTube, who subscribe to, whether it be my channel, DreamcastGuy, RGT85, Spawnwave Media, Linus Tech Tips, so on and so forth, whether it be you discussing news or reviewing a product, there's always this subconscious or just necessary element of being first. Okay, whether you find out leaked information, whether you get a product first from a major release, like say you're one of the first people that you have a contact over at Sony, you get your hands on the PS5 after it's released or a month before it's released, and they're telling you no NDA, you can review it. There's this incentive to be, okay, I got this information, it seems credible, let's get it out there. And it's not just YouTubers that do it, it's credible, and I'm not saying they're not credible when I do the air quotes, credible journalism sites that say, hey, I got an insider too. And there have been times that they've screwed up as well, and the information they got was misinformation. So there's this incentive to be first. And if you think you could trust the information, you're like, all right, man, I'm going to put it out there. Now, to his credit too, now look, there's some information he should have. The one thing I will say is when he heard GTX 1660 and 14 teraflops of GPU performance, he should have been like, yeah, that don't add up. That don't add up because the GTX 1660 ain't anywhere near that. But he thought he could have trusted this source, and that's why he put the information out there. And it ended up blowing up in his face. And recently, that has happened. It's happened to me several times recently too. I made an apology video probably a couple months ago because there were a few videos that I made in like the past 3 months that had errors in them. I was told to, Rich, just ignore it and move on, and I was like, no, man, if I ignore my mistakes, that makes me look like even more of a bigger ass. So I'd rather come out and say, hey, I screwed up with these videos, I'm gonna fact check more, and I'm gonna make sure it doesn't happen again. I mean, there are times where I've made mistakes in videos where I misread the sources. Even if I misread, there were videos I made where I misread multiple sources, swore in my mind. I didn't go into the video thinking, I'm not really sure, but screwed, I'm gonna make the video anyway. Even though I misread what was in the articles, I was 110% sure what I misread, I read properly and made a video on it. Stuff happens, man. We're human, we make mistakes. And as long as we hold ourselves accountable to the mistakes, there is no reason for the melodrama. Now, am I saying that people shouldn't criticize when I make mistakes or when DreamcastGuy makes mistakes? No, make your videos and say, hey, Rich, you screwed up. Hey, DreamcastGuy, you screwed up. Hey, RGT85, you screwed up. Hey, Spawnwave, you screwed up. Hey, Linus Tech Tips. Hold our feet to the flames. I'm not saying that. I've held other people's feet to the flames, lost some friends in the process of doing that, but that's what we do in this community, man. It kind of keeps everybody in check, and I'm okay with that. But when it goes to the point of where you get death threats, which DreamcastGuy did say that he got, and I believe him because I always bring up with No Man's Sky, where Jason Schreier received a DM death threat from somebody on Twitter. He reported it to Twitter, and Twitter said, oh yeah, that death threat you got doesn't violate our community guidelines. That's bravo, Twitter. Bravo. So my point being is that it does happen. Whether you believe DreamcastGuy got a death threat or not, I do believe him. I don't know why he would say that if he didn't. But even if you don't believe him, I've seen concrete evidence of people losing their minds over videos or articles like what happened with DreamcastGuy or Jason Schreier being critical of No Man's Sky and people flipping out. And that's just way too far. Want to be critical of us when we screw up? Hey, man, we're doing this. You have every right to be critical. You have every right to make videos calling us out, so on and so forth. But when you take it that far, you need to go see a shrink. Sorry. But anyway, man, look, DreamcastGuy, he made mistakes. He did the right thing. He admitted to his mistakes instead of just ignoring it. I've done the same thing. And you know what? There's going to be so much content coming out with E3 this month. I'm sure that there's going to be misinformation just thrown at me, and I'm sure a video or two will have misinformation in it from me. I'm just letting you know now with how fast new news comes out during E3 month. It's just the way it is. But if I do screw up, I'll let you know that I screw up, and I hope the rest of the people in the gaming community do the same. And if they do that, give them credit where credit's due, and don't lose your minds and threaten them because they made mistakes. Because I'm sure in your life too, you've made plenty of mistakes as well. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.